Hey guys, it's Hink here. So since the dawn of man, there's always been debates about basically what is big and what is not. And so today I actually found a chart. It's called the Big Penis Chart, which breaks it down and actually quantifies what is small, below average, average, and big, huge, enormous, etc. So today we're going to break that down and we're actually going to compare it with the table that I like, which is actually based on the Nomogram from the Am I Normal study. And we're going to see how these things compare. Before we get going, guys, if you don't mind, just take a sec to like this video, hype the video, and consider subscribing. It really means a lot, helps the channel grow, and I would take it as a personal favor, so thank you. All right, guys, well, here is the chart right here. I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can actually see it and look at it in all its glory while I'm talking. It takes you everywhere between micro penis to very small, all the way up to truly massive. Now, this is based on the data from CalcSD. If you guys don't know what CalcSD is, but basically they tried to do the most comprehensive job compiling the data on men's D size and put it in a standardized form where you can actually have a frame of reference. Here is a chart that I made with updated data from this paper here, the Am I Normal study. Now, what I've quantified is basically every half an inch of length. And not only have I included centimeters for you guys, but I've also included the likelihood you can see of how often you are to come across this size. We're going to talk about how they correlate together. I know that some of you guys might hate this Am I Normal study.
Move this man!
I don't fully know why, besides the fact that you think it's coke that the average that they quote is 5.19 inches. But still, it's the most comprehensive data that we have. So just bear with me. We're going to see how these two data sets actually square up. First, what are some things we have to talk about? Well, in this big penis chart, one of the problems is that, number one, you should not have the same number in two different groups. So for example, if we pull up the chart and we look at average, it says 5.2 to 5.9. But then if you look at above average, it says 5.9 to 6.6. And so 5.9 means if you're 5.9 inches, it means you're both average and above average, okay? So that's an inherent flaw. The other thing is that there's a fairly wide range that they use in some of these, like in the above average range, it goes from 5.9 to 6.6. That's almost 0.7 inches, almost. That is 0.7 inches. That's a pretty wide range. And so I don't like that, but in general, I do like this chart. So guys, let's start with the average category. Now, what is important to know is that in this chart, they say average is 5.2 to 5.9 inches. In my opinion, the most important takeaway from this is that it is not 6 inches. 6 inches is not average, okay? And now we have this chart and of course my data that also shows that 6 inches is not average. Now, even in that Am I Normal study that I like to quote, even though the average is 5.19 inches, the actual range of what they consider a normal variation goes all the way from 4.5 to 5.8 inches. There's a lot of overlap, guys. And so you guys hating on that Am I Normal paper, this CalcSD data is largely correlative with it. Now, then they have the below average category. Now, this is where I disagree a little bit. Once again, and you can argue semantics objection, but once again, the normal range of variation based on the standard deviation curve, okay? If you guys don't know about standard deviation, just look it up, okay? But it's basically what is a normal variance of occurrences. That range on that paper was anywhere between 4.5 to 5.8 inches. According to the big PP chart, 4.5 inches is below average, where I would argue that, yes, technically it is below the mean, but it is still within a normal variance. And so I would not say that that's small. I would still say that that's normal. So now we're going to talk about above average. So guys, once again, on the big penis chart, as well as on the chart from the Am I Normal Nomogram, and even on this chart that was made on getting bigger, all of these have 6 inches as above average. And guys, we're talking for all intents and purposes, we are talking about bone pressed length in this chart. So 6 inches bone pressed is above average. I don't know what I have to say to get through to you. You right? Yes, you right there. To get through to you to say that 6 inches is not average. But no, Hink, I've been in the locker room.
Don't do the voice.
I get it, guys. It's hard to believe, but 6 inches is above average, okay? Whether you're including Western data or this data set or the Am I Normal Nomogram, 6 inches is above average. Guys, let me hear, air me out in the comments about how vehemently you disagree with the fact that 6 inches is the average. Almost every single paper that I can come across, every single paper that I've come across that actually has published measured data sets from medical professionals does not have 6 inches as the average. The biggest one I saw had an average of 5.8, okay? The biggest one that I saw. There's never been a paper that has been published that I've come across with measured data, not self-reported data, measured data that shows the average being 6. And guys, if you look, especially in the MI-normal nomogram chart, it has, if you're 6 inches, you're in the 75th percentile. Once again, this correlates with the other big penis chart because it has the range between 70 to 93 percentile in that range, guys. And so let's just say it's 75 percentile. That means that there's only a quarter of guys that are bigger than you if you're 6 inches. I know, mind blown. It's hard to believe. It's probably impossible to believe. I can't wait to read the comment section of this. But guys, it's true on both of these different data sets. Now, 1 in 4 or 25% chance, it's not 0, okay? So it's not impossible, but it is rare that somebody's going to be bigger than you. And guys, look at 6.5 inches, okay? In both of these groups, you're at about 90th percentile, meaning that only 1 out of 10 men is going to be bigger than you if you're 6.5 inches bone pressed. Do you not see how big that actually is? And I know, between the adult industry and all that stuff, dysmorphia has come about, and it's gonna be so hard for you to believe, but it's true, guys. Now, what about the big category? So the unequivocally big, we're moving away from just the like, oh, you're above average to like, okay, what's a big peepee? Boom. 6.6 inches is what they put on this chart. Now, guys, I've said this before. In my opinion, if you are 6 inches non-bone pressed, meaning what is visible is 6 inches, that is big. And honestly, there are adult stars that are not 6 inches non-bone pressed. This chart is saying that that's big. And of course, the MI-normal nomogram chart is saying that that's very big as well. Now, what about huge? Guys, in this chart, 7.3 inches is the cutoff for huge. So if you are 7.3 inches, according to this chart, you are, how are they choosing? Like, what's the difference between huge versus enormous? Derp. Like, I don't know. But the point is, they are saying that's huge. Now, I am inclined to agree. If you are 7.3 inches, that is, just like statistically, the odds of that happening are very small. So that means, guys, it's time for a Hink's reality check. According to the MI-normal nomogram with updated data, looking at 7.5 inches, we're just going to round up just a touch. Now, once again, we can agree that for the most part, these two charts are correlating, more or less. If you look at the MI-normal chart, the odds of having a 7.5 inch penis is about 1 in 1,500. We're just going to round off. Let's say that you are with a girl that has 20 partners. Using that, so an odds of 1 in 1,500, what are the chances that the girl that you are with, if she slept with 20 dudes, has had a dude that big? 1 in 76 is the odds. Very rare odds, about 1.32%. Now, in comparison, if the girl that you're with has only had 5 partners, or the guy that you're with has only had 5 partners, the odds of them having a dude that big drop all the way down to about 1 in 300, or about 0.3%, guys. My girlfriend told me that her ex was 8 inches. It's possible, absolutely possible, but if you're looking from a statistical odds perspective, it's very rare, guys. And guys, I can just hear you in the comments, just aggressive. Like, I can hear you in the comments, and that's okay. I want to know what you think, okay? I want to know how wrong I am. Let me know how wrong I am. But guys, you have to keep in mind that these are just statistics. There's things like selection bias. If you only date girls that are part of swingers clubs, even though they might have only had 5 partners, people who participate in swinging are probably going to be more well endowed. Same thing with your distribution. If you are in Japan, where typically if you look at the Eastern averages, it is smaller, the chance of this happening would go like way down. Whereas if you were in, I don't know, Sweden, when everybody's like above 6 feet tall, there is a loose correlation between height and D size. And so maybe it's going to be a little bit higher. And so these aren't just like, you have to take into account some of the things. Like if you are with an absolute sleut that you know is just getting piped down like every day and is on Tinder asking and like, BBC only, then you know this odd is going to be much higher that she's had a D that big. So I understand, guys, but use some common sense, and these rules don't apply universally. The statistics are statistics. So guys, now we're at enormous. The cutoff for enormous is actually on this chart 7.9 inches, but let's just say 8 inches, guys. I'm not going to go like hot take. I can see Callie like starting to feel the graphics like start to bubble up. But like, guys, 8 inches is just that. It's enormous. I really don't think you guys understand how big that is. I'm actually working on a video series that's going to be like part of this, which is basically like just how big is 8 inches, just to give you guys some context so you can actually understand just how big that is. So guys, Jason Love, the famous black adult star, that dude, like the face of BBC, and I'm not talking about British broadcasting, is literally about 8 inches, just over it, maybe like 8.2, 8.25, guys. And he's like, oh my gosh, BBC Central, okay? Now, according to the big PP chart, the odds of having a D that big is about 0.02%, which means that basically on this planet, there's about 800,000 men, not too far off from 1 million men, that have 8 inches, okay? So it's not like, oh my God, it's impossible. Even on my updated Am I Normal chart, it's still only about 150,000 men on this earth that actually have a D that big. It's not impossible. It's not like, mythical, but it is very rare that that happens. And so guys, finally, we have the truly massive. In order to be in this tier, all you need to be is 8.6 inches. I just want you guys to just think about that. All of you guys that don't listen to me, because I'm a clown in a mask, I don't know anything about anything, but think that these adult stars are actually 14 inches. Look at those odds. In this chart, above 8.6, we're not even hitting double digits. We're not even that close to double digits. That's what you guys don't understand, that these ungodly, like just gigantic looking Ds, like even like, well, Danny D's of the world. If you haven't seen my video on him, check him out. Or the Mandingos, guys. Those guys are like 9 inches, sometimes even less than that as far as like their actual non-bone pressed length. So your girl says that her ex was 9 inches, okay? Let's just take a second to look at the data sets and see how rare that is. If she had 20 partners, the odds of her having a 9-inch D is 1 in 2.4 million. And if she had 5 partners, the odds of that happening are about 1 in 9.6 million. You can say pretty confidently, unless your girl dates exclusively in the biggest of the big adult star territory like Dredd, that she did not have a 9-incher. That concludes my TED Talk. Thank you for listening. Couple things to keep in mind. First of all, the non-bone pressed length matters more. I'm not in any way trying to be discouraging or discriminatory, whatever you want to call it. So if you have a 7-inch D and it puts you in that big category, if you are extremely overweight and as a result you have a 3-inch fat pad, it's going to look like your D is only 4 inches big. And therefore, that is not going to look very big. Really, what is the visible length matters, but not only that, but proportional to the rest of your body. If you have a 6-inch D, which puts you above average, but you're 6'5", and the rest of you, like you have very big hands, very big feet, very big thighs, whatever that may be, that might not look that big on you guys. It doesn't take away from the fact that you are unequivocally above average if you are 6 inches. Proportions matter, guys. Let me know what you think. Did I absolutely crap the bed on this? Do you think that this is all just copium because you know that, you and your 4 friends, you know who I'm talking about. yeah, you. Oh, well, all me and all my bros are 7.5 inches non-bone press. Like, all right, bro. All right, good for you guys. Now, guys, it is possible to get bigger, okay? I put together an entire enlargement course based on real science and real data that has the most scientific techniques that I can come across that have proven results, including the guys on the Hink trial that grew at 1/2 inch in length and 1/4 inch in girth in 6 months with photos that you guys can verify on the Hink trial. So if you're interested, check out the course. Link is in the description. If you need to reach me for coaching, patreon.com/DocHink. You are so much more than the size of your D. There's nothing wrong with self-improvement, but you are enough just as you are. All right, guys. Peace and love.
Dr. Hink got the plug on the health, yeah. Got you thinking about your wealth, yeah. In his office, no stealth, yeah. Pinnacle of that below the belt, yeah. Checks and balance, he's managing. Working miracles, no damage. Got you covered, no panicking. Stay calm. In the clinic, no vanishing. Yeah, with Doc Hink, it's the way back.